Hey guys. Oh, this couldn't. Okay, it's not. I was going to say this couldn't have happened at a worse time, but I realized no, it definitely could have. So I'd actually gone to bed really early because I wanted to be awake for the FGO stream that starts in 3 hours and be rested. So this is pretty much like being woken up at 4 in the morning, like, hey man, time to do some stuff. It's like, I'm gonna kill you where you stand. Bandai, why? That's all I can ask. Everyone's been complaining about the lack of content, so Bandai's like, hey Lamau, here's some new content. The jokes write themselves. So, we're going to take a look at the new Gundam. It's really the only content that was added. However, as it is a 7-star base suit, we're only going to be taking a look at the alterations for it. I may as well look at the numbers on this, you know, kind of pad out the stream so it's not like a quick old 5-minute in and out kind of dealio. Yeah, I am actually going to watch the FGO Annie stream. Last big stream for it, if you remember, I did try to restream it, but that got I got kneecapped. So this time around, I'm just gonna watch it in the FGO wiki Discord, and hang out with the lads there, because that's typically where I hang out for FGO content these days. Anyways, let's focus on GBM. Let's take a look at the new Gundam, the 93ff. And see what the 3rd anniversary brought to the table. Actually, you know what? That's a good point. We should watch the Twitter video first, because that's going to be really important for creating kind of a baseline as to what we should expect for this suit. Let's see, should be, yes, perfect. Okay. So, wow me, 3rd anniversary. Blow my mind. So it's a magazine skill. Then we have a non-binding EX. Okay, slow down. Hold on. Go back. Yeah. So swing, 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 shot. Oh, if it's hitting like noodles. Okay. Okay. Backpack. Interesting. Very interesting. Excessively long. Okay. Wait. Whoa. Hold the fucking phone. So you guys can't see it, so I'll bring it up. But in case you somehow weren't aware, this thing's a triple S skill. Yeah. Alright. Let's start from the top. Let's work our way down. Out of all the EX skills that are shown here, I do like the backpack's animation. I think it's actually really unique in that it actually has your opponent do something. I don't know how you guys feel about it, because, you know, it's definitely a mileage may vary bit. But the fact that your enemy actually fights you in that cutscene, I think is really cool, right? Because normally, right, the enemy's just at your mercy and it's you doing everything. This is the first one I've seen where we actually see true feedback from whoever you're hitting, and, you know, they're trying to I think that's cool, honestly, at the end of the day. Anyways, let's start from the head, work our way down. We'll just let this rotate on and keep going in the background while we talk. Okay, so the head. While high firepower, squad all power plus 35%, and when armor is 80% or more, squad all power plus 35% again. So high firepower is a very build agnostic tag. It boosts your melee, boosts your shot, and it's accessible on an absolute fucking boatload of parts. This is not going to be difficult to actually get active. When armor is 80% or more, one of my favorite things to say, just don't get hit. With that in mind, you'll have a 70% all-power boost to your entire squad. This is something you can put on a couple of your support suits to give you 140% total coverage if you maxed everything out, and if you don't have this on your primary suit as well. If you did, then you're looking at what? That's 210% just casual all-power boost. Honestly, that's absolutely fucking bonkers. Like, straight up. Really good traits. Ace exclusive high firepower word tags, which makes sense, thematically on point. Now, for stat distribution, because I do like a very cursory glance at 7 stars as they come out. This one doesn't look like jaw-droppingly amazing in terms of the stat department. It looks kind of what we would expect from a 7-star suit. It doesn't have an insane amount of defense stats for carryover. It has a good amount, like a very healthy amount of shot attack, obviously. And it has a handful of melee attack, definitely more of the shot type suit this is. Overall though, the traits are absolutely deranged on this part, honestly. Like, I would argue this is probably one of the best parts in the game just for damage boosting, because the entirety of it's agnostic. Because it's a squad boost, you can put it on any of your suits. It's a great part, honestly. All right, backpack. While Ace exclusive, squad cooldown minus 19%. That's practically free 20% CDR for everything. Like, that's awesome. Melee damage raised 20%, so you're taking 20% more melee damage. Shooting power boosted by 50%. That's the highest modifier that we have. Not the first 50% modifier we've seen. We've seen one more in this vein. But this is the first shooting 50% that we've seen. And 50% is the highest available for this specific mod type. So again, this is a very, very powerful part, but unlike the head, this is definitely kitted out more towards shot machines, as it does require Ace exclusive, which is a shot-centric tag, and it also requires melee damage incoming to be boosted for a shooting power boost. So, you know, honestly, it's an amazing part if you're running shot. If you're running melee, not very useful for obvious reasons. You need Ace exclusive, which is eating a tag slot, and you don't need shooting power boost as a melee machine. But for shot, dang, son. Ace exclusive high firepower tags again. Okay. Like, honestly, not bad. Although the head still blows that out of the water. All right, let's start diving into some of these EX skills, because, yeah. LRFF Saber combo. S power, D pierce, low cooldown. Okay, so this is a non-binding beam melee EX skill, and let's bring it up here because we have the power. It should be this one. So it is this EX skill here. You dash at them, you swing, you swing, you swing, you shoot. It does appear to automatically lock onto new targets as you go. Oh yeah, absolutely does. So as you can see here, we're hitting one target. It's now dead. You can tell by the blue sparking going on in the core of the frame. And then rotate around and fire at a machine that is very far away. Pew. Honestly, the fact that it relocks onto a new target for the final thing can be pretty useful. It also means it'll be a lot harder to disjoint it should the enemy somehow manage to escape the first hit or whatever reason. My only real concerns with it are that dash in seem to be something that's interruptible unless that has iframes, much like last week's, or I guess a couple of days ago's suit. So that unfortunately I don't have knowledge of, but based on my understanding of it, it looks pretty good. S power is really nice. If it doesn't have iframes on that dash and you're open to being interrupted, you know what? It'll still hit really hard. You just have to be a little careful. If it has iframes during that, then it's very good. A contender for one of the better melee skills that you can just have as a quick shot. What are the chances? It's similar to just like EX's where it has full iframes. Honestly, considering that these suits typically tend to be hard power creep, I would have a very safe bet on that it is full iframes for the entirety of it. However, without testing, I can't really make heads or tails of that, and obviously, right, we don't have a way to test it in game and there's no information on that. So someone's gonna have to roll the part, try it, and actually check it themselves. What can you do? Sadly, arms have one of the best melee skills. Yeah, like I said, right, like honestly, even without iframes, the fact that it has S power on such a low cooldown makes it extremely good. On par with some of the build project EX skills we've seen that are considered really, really powerful. It's just better if it has iframes for obvious reasons, right? But it's already an amazing part even without iframes. You just have the caveat of don't get interrupted, but honestly. All right, let's check out the legs. When armor is 90% or more, enemy shooting damage plus 50%. So again, just don't take any damage. 50% boost is beautiful. Job gauge increase down 20%, so you're going to get 20% less job gauge for all of your actions. All enemies, all damage plus 35%. So, job gauge. I say this all the time, I'll say it again anyways. I don't like the job gauge. I think that entire system could still be better. I don't think it brings enough to the table to actually invest into job gauge or worry about it that much. So to me, that's not even a demerit. That's just that's a freebie. You know, it's that centerpiece in a bingo board. But it all depends on your build, what you think of it, not what I think. Right? These are just my opinions on it. So you do you. Don't let me tell you how to play the game. You have your fun. Make yourself happy. But the trigger, or I guess the activation, where it's all enemies, all damage plus 35%. That's solid stuff. Now, my only curiosity with this is, as it's not a squad power boost or anything, I have this weird feeling that's only going to apply to the suit that this is equipped onto. So you can't equip it onto one of your supporting suits and just do 35% more damage. You do have to have it on your suit for that to actually take effect, which does restrict its overall viability to a degree, but this is still a very nice part if you're using a shot machine, as you do 50% more shot damage and 35% more all damage. So that's your melee, your shot, your EX, neutrals, everything, right? It's just better if you also use shot. Pretty good. But considering the rest of it, it's actually mediocre, which is really funny when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Weird wording. I don't know exactly what it does. So the way that it works, the wording is fucking miserable. I don't know why they don't dedicate more text space to actually fully write this out, or they haven't figured out a better way to write it yet. But when it says, for example, all enemies, all damage plus 35%, it means all enemies are taking 35% more all damage. It's literally just an all damage plus 35%. I don't know why they've worded it like this. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And no matter how many times I point out, like, hey, this is bad wording, or how many times other people point out, hey, this wording is really confusing, they just keep on going. And that's fine, but it leads to confusion, obviously. It's weird. Yeah, Raiden. It's the new, so it's the RX-93ff new. It's the, yeah, it's a special version of the new Gundam. It needs to be tested, honestly, for us to really figure out the wordings and everything. I wish we didn't have to resort to that. I wish it made more sense out of the box, but it's just the way it is, right? What can you do about it? All right, let's check out that wicked backpack, shall we? With that, triple S. First of its class. Let's see what we got. So, bindable, cutscene. You can't do diddly all when it hits you. What do we get? Raise shot attack of your squad by 54%. That is the highest modifier for shot attack buffs, I believe, in a cutscene, so solid stuff. Raise melee defense of your squad by 19%. Kind of an odd choice for it to be melee defense and not, you know, like a speed boost or shot defense or even a heal, perhaps. But that 54% shot attack buff is solid. The triple S power, it is going to hit unbelievably hard and de-pierce. But that's to be expected with this much power. If they gave it good pierce and this much power, it would be indisputably the best EX skill in the game. It already sort of is when you think about it, triple S power, and you can just pack pierce. But it does lack a good handful of the utility that we would expect, and having to augment its pierce so hard to really kind of make it work, Honestly, very, very powerful. A very strong offensive buff behind it. However, it does have a little bit of downside in that you require a lot of pierce augmentation, and it doesn't really have a lot of utility outside of just being the big old fucking slap to the face, right? So you gotta bring heals, you gotta bring more buffs, all that kind of stuff, outside of the, one buff it does give. So, strike freedom is 59%. All right, so it's the second highest. Honestly, though, the difference between 54% and 59% is rather negligible. Especially considering I don't think the strike freedoms is triple S. It should be, what, either triple S minus or double S. I can't remember. There's so many parts that go through this game at this point. It's... So... And in case you joined late and you didn't see the EX skill for the backpack, I'm now playing it here for you. So you dash at them after doing a quick pot shot. You and the enemy get into a short little beam saber clash. You fire off your beam, your backpack does some work, and you go in for that final swing. It's a very beautiful EX skill. I love the fact that your enemy actually has an active role in this. I believe it's the first time we've seen an active role from the opponent in one of these where they actually fight back and try to do something. And I think it's cinematically, for GBM, very good. Overall, the backpack, yeah, the triple S alone makes it really good. All right. Let's take a look at our shield. This suit also packs a magazine with A power. I don't think I need to explain to everyone why that is so good, but in case, when you have a magazine that has A power on it, it's just gonna hit fucking hard. Almost all of the good magazine skills, the ones that the community has deemed to be good magazine skills, are B+ or higher. Most of the easily accessible ones are B+. This one comes A out of, well, I was gonna say out of the box, but after you do your alteration on it. But considering this is the type of suit you would alter no matter what, effectively out of the box. Large magazine, very hard hitting, and if you use a shot machine, you want to have at least one magazine skill on there, unless you're doing something very specific, just for the raw damage output that they can do. And this is nice, because we have very few shield magazine EX skills that are this good. It's not we don't have any, because we do. We just have a few of them. This is just adding one more to that list. So that's awesome stuff. Now we know why they reran the X1 World Fair. All right. Honestly, I think aesthetically, I do like the way that this suit looks. All right, Beam Saber. Let's get to the stuff that isn't so prevalent. So what do we got here? With rifle category equipped, all power boosted by 50%. Considering rifles are arguably the most accessible ranged weapons in the game, this should be little to no issue to get. An all power boost to 50% is absolutely insane. And because you are going to equip a ranged weapon on your melee suit, that is a actual build agnostic trait. Dope. After 5 seconds pass, enemy all damage plus 50%. So I've brought this up before. Arena, when you start an arena match against somebody, you get that warning, and then the enemy spawn in, gives you the little like cinematic, and then the fight starts. That takes approximately anywhere from, God, it's like 2.8 to 3 point something seconds. I can't remember the exact duration of it. Maybe even more than that. It's been a while since I really cared about the numbers behind it. But effectively, as soon as the match starts, that timer starts ticking. After 5 seconds pass, you pretty much are waiting for that cutscene to finish and the fight to start, and you're gonna have that activated. Maybe you have to wait an extra second or something, which you can use to activate a cutscene to start dashing at them. This is an amazing beam saber. It works for shot, the traits anyways, works for shot, works for melee, very easy to activate, very powerful pair of traits. Both of them are all damage 50%. That is, or all power 50% and all damage 50%. Just a pair of amazing traits. Works on any build. Statistically, I'm not quite sure because I haven't really cared so much about looking at 7-star stats for like weapons and stuff, as I brought up before. I just don't really see why it's worthwhile, considering it's very safe to assume that this is the best weapon in the game right now, because it's a 7-star for a limited new suit for the 3rd anniversary. It would make sense for it to be the most powerful beam saber in the game, especially with that amount of shot attack. So this may not be offensively melee based the best beam sword in the game, but for shot machines, I have zero doubt this is the best one. I don't even have to look at the numbers on other parts. It's just, hey, this has 2,000 shot attack on a beam saber. I really, yeah, for what that's worth. Anyways, regardless, the traits alone make this a very tantalizing part to get your hands on. It really makes your beam saber slot pop. You may have something much better statistically for your build in the front, but these traits on the back, ooh, spicy. What's it at lowest level? What are we looking at? Yeah, you're 60%. Like, that's 30 and 30. That is like the max level version of other traits on parts, where it's all power boost, right? Where max is out at 30%. This starts at 30%. Like, I think this game runs to next anniversary, we're looking at like 80% all power boosts on stuff. Let's be real. All right. Let's take a look at our first beam rifle, because this one has two. The first one is the long-range fin funnel, which is the colossal gun that it has on its back. I find it interesting that it's classified as a beam rifle and not like a beam sniper rifle, you know? All right. Weapon reload speed down 20%, so that means when you're doing your neutrals, it'll take 20% longer to fully reload it. Honestly, at the end of the day, that's not really a big deal. It takes only a couple of seconds for it to reload anyways. Adding another like 0.4, 0.8 seconds, whoop-de-doo, right? Who cares? Don't get hit. Initial squad charge plus 20%. So that's a very interesting trade-off, especially because you can put that on one of your ally suits, and there you go. You get your initial squad charge without the demerits on your primary. With rifle category equipped, which you would natively have by using this rifle, EX skill power boosted by 50%. Honestly, this is a very symbiotic relationship kind of trait setup. You're getting your initial boost, you're getting your EX skill power boost, you're just getting those skills out so much faster, hitting so much harder. A really good rifle, especially considering it kind of feeds into itself. The single demerit, again, is the reload speed down, but as I said, it's so negligible numbers-wise, it doesn't even matter. So, nothing but pluses on that. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's like just 8,000 shot attack out of the box. Almost 20,000 shot attack after getting marks. Jesus. That's just... man. Whew. This ain't Kansas anymore, let me tell you that. Alright, this is the actual beam rifle for the gun, not the backpack. When shot attack is over 25,000, which is going to be so ridiculously easy if you get this beam rifle, because I'm pretty sure this caps out, yeah, this caps out at almost 20k on its own, right? So you're gonna have no issue getting your 25k shot attack for that second trait. Enemy EX skill damage plus 50%, so they're taking 50% more EX skill damage. Awesome. And while ace exclusive, which you are 9 times out of 10, or actually I should say 9.9 times out of 10 running on a shot machine, that 0.1 being the people that are going super niche comp builds, power to you, you do whatever. While ace exclusive, shooting power boosted by 40%. Honestly, I am shocked. One could argue I am appalled. The entire suit up until this point is rocking 50% boosts to these kind of stats, and this one goes, nah, I'm gonna be 40%. It feels almost like they're looking at the normal beam rifle and going, yeah, no, you know what, we don't like you. We're adding you because you belong on the suit, but we don't really want you. They want you to get the actual big backpack gun as your handheld, not this one. But 40% is still a very healthy boost, 10% shy of the current maximum. That's all over this suit and other parts. Yeah. It's not a bad beam rifle, though. You do get the 50% EX skill damage for a very easy activation trigger, and you still get a 40% shooting power boost for ace exclusive, which you are going to be running. And yeah, shooting power boost to 40% is still the limited / Sokai extremely high tier buff. So yeah, it's that. Honestly, looking at this entire suit, so how to go over this. So the backpack is obviously amazing because it has triple S on its EX skill, and it gives a 54% shot attack boost. Very, very powerful EX skill. You know, ridiculously. Best we have by leaps. It's just so far ahead, doesn't even matter. The head, I think, is probably the best build agnostic part to target. If you're going to get any part on here and you're not quite sure if you want to do melee, shot, whatever, get the head. Both of its traits work very well for either build, and it's a statistical just like +1. Obviously, it doesn't pack a lot of melee as it is more of a shot head, but the traits work regardless, and I think that's really, really dope. The arm EX skill is arguably one of the best low cooldown melee EX skills in the game, with or without iframes, honestly. It's just low cooldown, slaps hard. It's this one here that we're seeing on the screen right now. And it does have auto lock on to new targets when you kill something. My only concern with it is it may have split damage between actual melee and shot, because the last attack is clearly using the rifle. So even though it's classified as a B melee, we have had skills in the past where it does actually feed off of 2 of your stats. So if that does happen to be the case, and that last attack does require or feeds off of your shot attack, then that drops its viability drastically, as it's my impression of it is purely based on the fact that it is a full melee EX skill that just uses your melee attack and doesn't require shot. That's pretty much that. The shield. That is a hands down solid magazine EX. If you lack a good magazine skill, you may wish to pick up that shield. Chances are you probably don't have much better going on in your shield slot anyways in terms of EX skills / traits. So you can just, use this as the, what's the word? Your custom skin shield just for the magazine skill alone. As for weapons, well, you got the beam saber and the long-range fin rifle. The long-range fin rifle is absolutely ridiculous, and the beam saber is still very convenient in terms of traits. It's weird, honestly. We have 3 parts that are they're good. If you look at them purely in a GBM vacuum, they're good parts: the torso, the legs, and the actual beam rifle. However, in terms of the rest of the suit, they're lacking very, very far behind, purely because most of the other parts have something absolutely amazing about them that makes them, kind of not a must have, but like a you should probably think about picking them up kind of idea. Those parts really not so much, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. So with that, everyone, we've looked over the new suit. We've taken a rather in-depth look at kind of what it offers. We've seen all the animations related to it so far. With that, I'm going to wrap up and I guess stay awake until the FGO stream, because that's happening in only a couple of hours from now, and there's no point going back to bed. Maybe I'll just play Xenoblade 3. Anyways, thanks for tuning into this emergency stream, everyone. I wish I could have just stayed in bed, but honestly, this was a pretty interesting suit to look over. I'm not going to be rolling on it. I am still just saving all of my Haro for the Amaterasu whenever that drops, or a new variant of the Kshatriya. So, yeah. For anyone that is watching the FGO stream, I will be watching it. I'm not going to be streaming it anywhere. I'm just going to be, like I said earlier, hanging out in the FGO Wiki Discord, talking to people there about it. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Peace out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your weekend.